Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to be working inside today. We're having a rainy, blustery, stormy weekend morning and it's actually really nice out there, but it's even better in here because I don't have to be outside. So I've got my coffee and I'm ready to go, and I just wanted to show you something that I was working on earlier in the week and realized that I should probably share it. So I want to make a botanical journal, a botanist's journal, and I wanted to use these sheets that I talked about in my last video from Polka Art Studio that I got off Etsy. I love these. The colors are so vibrant and everything's just so pretty and bright, and there's just a whole lot to choose from. I don't know, there's like at least 20 sheets and they're all in this same format. They have like kind of like they're a book cover or whatever with a back and a front. You can cut them up and use them however you want to, but I printed these off because I thought these were pretty, and I think I'm going to use those in my next one. But I started this, and what I had decided I wanted to do was use craft paper. So I have a 12 by 12 sheet of just the craft scrapbook paper, and thought that was a good medium for this and a good weight. So I went ahead and I cut up one of these sheets. I just cut, straight down the middle, cut the trim off, the border off, so I didn't have that white. And I used that for my front and back cover. And I wanted to make sure to show that I was using, I love the whole brown paper look. So wanted to show that I was using that. So made everything a little bit smaller. And this is actually from, so you can see, I put this down so you could see the measurements here. But this is basically 8 inches, I believe. Let me look. Well, I could do it right here. Hello. This is, it's a little more than 8 inches. So I've got, it looks like about, it's right at about an 8 1/4. Obviously I wasn't worried about it measuring it, but did that and ended up with an extra sheet up here. And this, when I cut it here, this became this fold. So I just folded it over. I thought I was going to put a little, maybe a little, I don't know. I was thinking maybe a little folio, a little booklet or something. And you always run that risk of it, being more gaposis right here when you fold, versus if I had cut this piece off and then glued it down, I might not have quite that gap. But I'm not that worried about it because I thought about maybe making some sort of a little booklet out of maybe this paper sack right here. And it would need to be, that big to accommodate that because I'd have pages in there. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with the flap. But anyway, that's how the flap ended up. And, anytime you also have something with a longer format, like obviously this is over 8 inches, you run the risk of that sort of puckering up there instead of laying flat. So if it were, only this, obviously it's not that bad. So whatever, I'm not too worried about it. But I did, go ahead and decorate that as well. And so then I ended up with a piece that was just this big, and that is what I ended up making all these tuck pockets about. And as I was thinking about this is just decoration. This is actually from one other sheet. I'm pretty sure this is the bottom of it, but I know this is there. It's just, it just didn't all line up because I didn't want to do that. I wanted part of it to be inside there. And anyway, but I liked the way the layout came out. And I love these little weird oniony looking things. I guess, I don't know what these really are, these plants, but you know, some of them kind of look like onion bulbs or whatever. Here's some that I was cutting up, and they have like their roots and they have their buds that haven't bloomed yet, and it's kind of just really neat looking. So not really sure exactly the botanical names, but I'm going to pretend like I sort of know, because what I think I want to do is make this into like a journal. Like I said, I'm going to add at least, you know, one little signature in here for recording. Like if you were out in nature and you were, you know, taking notes and pretending like you were, well, you really could be out there digging around out in the forest and foraging around and seeing what sort of different things you came across. Think about, you know, good old Edith Holden and what she was doing tromping around when she wrote her her nature notes book in 1906 that we all love and cherish. But anyway, so being, you know, like a botanist or something, I just think that'd be cool. So my thought was, then what if I took those, I've already lost them. Okay, I'm back. I've misplaced my little tags. So this was from another sheet that I had cut, and perfect. Here's the other part of that right here, and I'm sure I'll use that for something, and maybe that'll even be, I don't know, maybe I'll use that as the base for the signature. Not sure yet, but I cut up these pieces, and I thought, well, these would be great for specimen cards. And I think that it would be cool to have like two in this taller pocket, and maybe there's, could do 3 or 4. Got different sizes. This one's kind of skinny. I think I was thinking that these three are probably the same size. Yeah, they are. So maybe 3. So then I've got to find my specimens. So I dug around, and I didn't uh, make it to where you have to painfully watch me decide, because it takes me forever to decide what would be good. What would be good to add to these? Ooh, I need to pop that out. Just got this set not that long ago, and I haven't taken the time to pop all the little. Ooh, that's kind of hairy. Pop all the little extra bits out from these die cuts. And again, it's probably a machine that does it. We talked about that before. So anyway, but I found all these cool, kind of not too bright. I already have all these really bright colors going on in the folio, in the book, in the journal. So I grabbed some. I mean, they're still shiny to a degree, but I can kind of rough those up if I want to. But I thought these colors all looked, you know, a little more muted versus some of the really bright stuff that I have. So I'm dealing with, let's get rid of this for a minute. So you see without those colors, because I already checked and I like all these colors with those. So maybe these are kind of wide and big. I think I was thinking these would fit those. Maybe that. I don't know. That one's kind of, maybe that could go there. I like that one. I do like the pink too, though. Okay, so these are looking good for, I love the purple, little purple one. It's like a penstemon, or I don't know what that is, but it's pretty. So I like that for that, and that for that, and that for that. And this, you know, there's a little extra greenery there. I do love this purple, and I think it does match some of the purples and things in the set. So I'm gonna, hmm, I don't know, maybe I need a third one that's that big size. It wouldn't be horrible. I don't know, actually. Maybe I do want that. Maybe this red, well, it's not totally off. I don't know if you can see them. Glare here. There we go. Maybe not this red. Maybe not yet. I don't think anything like that. I could cut off. I could cut stuff off. Boy, that would be close on that one. I could cut something off though if I needed to. I hate to do that. Actually, do I like that one better? I kind of do, I think. Okay, these two are going to go off to the side for now. But this is too plain. I don't want them just with this backing, so with no backing. I think I want to use these here in a minute, but I've got some scripts. Maybe we should call this Scrappy Saturday, like all you lovely people that do this on a regular basis call it Scrappy Saturday. Use up your scraps. Oh my gosh, I've got so many scraps. So I've got some sheet music and little bits and pieces that I've cut for signatures. So there's several little strips. Wouldn't be horrible to use a little strip. I've got some plain. This is all pretty much, I think, some tea stain stuff that I made. And that one's got an interesting shadow to it. And there's plain, like copy paper or something. And then this is notebook paper with the little pink lines. Oh, look at this guy. This has definitely got to get used. He's nice and stainy. So, anyway, I've got a few things. Oh, I even have some receipt tape or cash register tape. That'd be interesting. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Or one of these bigger ones. And then I won't tear down the sides maybe. I'll just tear the top and bottom and ink it. Yeah, I kind of like that. So for that one, I'm gonna tear it about right there. And I'm not gonna worry about cutting. That one's a little bit close. I don't want that to be something that's gonna catch on something, so I'm gonna tear a little bit more off there. I'm gonna be really good and throw things away as I go instead of having piles all around me when I stand up. Yeah, that might work. Something like that. And this one begs for, oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and ink and find all my stuff. Hold out, of course, walnut stain because it's my favorite. It's always good for making a good kind of grungy edge. I don't care if it spills out over into the paper a little bit like this. On something like this especially. And I pulled out the frayed burlap oxide. It's going to be hard to talk today. Maybe I need to drink a little more of my coffee. Anyway, I thought those two colors would work well today with what I'm doing. So I'm going to just do that. Yeah, I like that. And I don't think I'm going to round the edges or anything on this. This is how it came. So this is how I'm going to use it. So here we go. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to grab my Inky Yucky magazine, and you can't see me right now, but I'm grabbing my Inky magazine and the glue stick. I'm going to get this glued on there. I might add some other stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a stamp or something on there as well, just to kind of give it some more character. We'll see. Anyway, kind of liking that. I think I'm lined up. Thank goodness for straight edges, because I'm one of those people, I'm left-handed, and when I write, I tend to write kind of at a slant. And I don't mean I write at a slant. I mean my words, my whole sentence, my line goes in a slant. I need lines. So this is looking good right here. I have to go back with a little bit of glue on the edges. You never know. No, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got that. And then we've got this guy. I think I better go ahead and do something to him now and get him down there. He's the star of this show, or this tag. I'm going to ink him up really good, because this, oh my gosh, there's another thing. Another little bit that didn't get popped out. I was afraid I'm going to tear it, and I have been known to. That doesn't keep me from just ripping it out of there. Anyway, I'm going to just kind of mute him down just a little bit with some ink. I think, he doesn't have to be straight up and down there. I think I kind of like him at a slant better. Do you think I'm going to move him up, since this is such a big thing? Yeah. Collection of specimens. Well, maybe I should put, yeah, because that really talks about, oh, maybe I'm going to use that inside the book. Okay, changed my mind real quick. Here's a specimen. Oh, here's one with some writing on it. That might be better. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm going to ink this guy. A little bit there. Okay, now I'm going to get my other glue out. I'm going to put my lid on my glue stick, because you know how it is. Okay, sorry. It's noisy. Let me get see if I can find that pin again later when it's time. Anyway, I'm going to get these guys glued down. Yep, it's a nice rainy day. We have some plans later, but they're indoors, so that's all good. Unfortunately, the grandson's baseball game got rained out, and it's just, it's always that way in the spring, especially. They don't play in the heat of the summer, thank God, but that's when we don't have rain. And we always have rain in the spring and the fall, and we're just constantly having to rearrange the schedule. So they need to play, and it's really fun to go watch them. They're such a fun age right now. They're just now pitching, player pitch now. It was machine pitch. I don't think we ever did coach pitch. It was T-ball, then machine pitch, and now player pitch. So it's real interesting to see them pitching. Some of them are really good. It's amazing. You can see there is a future for them in baseball. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun going and watching, and such a fun time for the family to spend together. And we're all there. We're grandma, great grandma, grandpas, all the grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, cousins. We're just all in the middle of it. Just love it. Okay, this guy, we're not gonna say we're done, but we're done with this part of this. So I like it. I'll come back and, yeah, see, there's gonna be a little, yeah. I figured as much. I'm just gonna pop a little glue down there. There we go. You know what? I just realized I don't have a fresh baby wipe, but now I do. keep a little pot. Candle came in this. Whoops. And I just keep stuffing fresh ones down in there. Of course, they dry out, but and sometimes I use those for other things. But that way, I've got it right handy, so I can try not to ink myself and my desk up. I mean, ink and stick myself and my desk up too much. So anyway, I'm liking that. There's still a little sheen on that, but it's not horrible. So okay, we're gonna call that done for now. I'm liking this one. This one also could have a little specimen tag. So let's see, what else did I have that was kind of skinny? That's kind of wide, but I think I want to tear. I want to tear one, so I'm going to use this. Yeah, so I'm just going to go around. And I'm going to tear the whole thing. So bear with me. And I don't want to make it too skinny. But yeah, I like that length, so I'm not going to tear up into it too much. I was running out of tea-stained notebook paper yesterday, so I had to do a batch. That's always interesting because I've got trays with, well, I've got one tray with tea and papers just, hanging out in it. But then when it comes time to dry it, sometimes I take them outside if it's not windy, but it has been so windy. I think I'm going to use this frayed burlap color on this, and I'm going to go ahead and use this, so it's mostly going to be more like walnut stain, I'm sure, but I think it'll, oh yeah, I like that. Anyway, sometimes I take them outside and to dry them when it's time to dry them, but oftentimes I just have like baking sheets with little racks on them to dry them, and they're just all over the kitchen and different places, sometimes in here. People are walking through looking at, oh, okay, I guess she's tea staining stuff again. So, all right, I like that. I'm gonna get in here and glue this guy down. Sticky, sticky, sticky. I'm gonna scoot it over just a hair. I don't mind stuff being sort of right in the middle, but sometimes it just gives it so much more interest if you can just scoot it over a little bit. So maybe this one. Yeah, we could do this. We could put him there, or do him like that. Yeah, I think I like this down and that up. So, ink this guy. Get him, yeah. Get him all happy looking. If he's been around a while. So to run that over that. Grab this. I do appreciate these pieces coming already cut. I was cutting up a bunch of stuff the other day from the Imperia set, and oh my gosh, I was just going cross-eyed. Yeah. So I appreciate anything that comes already cut. But I think, it can be kind of therapeutic to sit around and cut stuff. But man, after a while, my hand hurts. I hold my scissors funny, I guess, because I'm left-handed. I do have a pair of lefty scissors from Tim Holtz, but honestly, I don't think I use them right or hold them right or something because I just don't feel like I have control so much over my cuts when I'm using them, and they kind of, I'm afraid I'm going to get, something really womper jawed or cut something important off. Oh, okay. That, this little guy here. Yeah. Thinking, I'm sticking my fingers really good, gluing my fingers. Okay, like that. Like that right there. Yeah, that's sweet. Good. I like that it's, got dimension to it, depth, instead of just being flat. Got some 3D to it. 2D, 3D. Okay, so then, okay, let's get back to this big one. Do I need that leaf? Do I? Well, clearly I'm sticking to it. I mean, it doesn't really exactly match the rose leaves. And it's funny. I mean, I guess that's supposed to be a rose. It looks like a peony to me, but those are definitely more rosebuds than peony buds. I know that. So we're going to set that off to the side for now. And, oh yeah, here's this really, I wish it was longer though. But I like that really stained look. Maybe we'll use that on one of the smaller ones. But I wouldn't mind using, some sheet music, but I don't have a long piece right here. Now this one's really going to take, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I really do want this. That looks interesting. No, is it too white? Maybe I should suck it up and go look for some sheet music. I don't know that I have any that's very stained up. I've gotten up and walked away. I'm just gonna grab I'm grabbing a piece out of a hymnal. How about this one? This is from God the Creator, so it's kind of a cool thing for, like something that's natural, nature stuff. I think that's going to work, but I only need a little bit of it, so I think I'm not going to worry about having the corners. Let's see, how am I looking here? I think I'm just gonna grab some stuff. Oh, nature sings. Wait, let's do this. Because if there's any little hint of something, I need to cover up my ink. If there's any little hint of something about, something that kind of ties in, like nature in this case, I love it when, there's these little subtle hints of things. And sometimes it just happens that I definitely want to, let's see, I think I think I'm looking good here. I have it be like this. Okay. Yeah, but I don't want all this extra white area showing here. I want to get as close to the music as I can get it. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Maybe right in here. And I know it's supposed to, it's supposed to look kind of organic. Like the tears should just look like it was just something that was just, just torn. But sometimes you have to go back and kind of help it. Like in this case, I don't like that bump there. So, but I do like that. I'm going to keep that. Throw my little bitty bits out. Grab my ink. And get after it. I think I'm gonna. So I'm gonna put my watch on theater mode because I keep getting notifications. Today happens to be my mother's 88th birthday, and everyone is waking up and texting. I started it. I always usually send the first greeting because I make this little sign for everybody, or at least that's what I'm doing this year. It's hard to explain, but I create this little sign with this signboard that she gave me last year on my birthday. And so I sent the sign with her birthday greetings on it to our group text. And now everybody's chiming in. We're all going to be together later today celebrating her 88 years on this planet. So that's fun. And I think we're going to go eat Mexican food. And that's fun. And she's always so funny because she loves Mexican food. And there's a place that we go a lot, not just for special occasions, but just all the time. But we did go last year to this place for her birthday. They have sombreros that they make you wear. And we made her, well, we didn't make her, but the people that worked there made her wear the sombrero. She was so mad, and I have a great picture of her. Just if looks could kill, I mean, her face. She's not happy that she had to wear that sombrero, but she was a good sport about it. And and wore the sombrero. It goes down in infamy that. So we were kidding her that today she's going to have to wear a sombrero. But honestly, where we're going is not a place that we frequent that often, but we like it. It's just changed location, so we're excited to go to their new location. And we've been kidding her that she's going to have to wear the sombrero, but we don't know if they have a sombrero there or not. But we're always like, ew, like who all's head has that sombrero been on? Yuck. Oh, people. Anyway. Okay, so we like this. I like it. I like it. And let's see, I'm covering up most of what I was excited. Okay, we're gonna do it here because I want that nature sings, morning light to show, and rocks and trees and rustling grass, earth and trees. I want all that to show. I'm gonna do that. Now, what is this gonna cover up? Oh, I could cover up the flower. Trees. I don't want to cover up the flower part of the flower. I mean the head of the flower. I think I am going to do it this way. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of got I could find a smaller thing. I could use this, but I don't want to now that I know that says collection of specimens because I feel like that could be something. And this is just too small for this. This needs to go with these. So it's going to be this one. And we're just going to cover up part of the flower. So Anyway, it's a thought process, right? All right. All right. There we go. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. Lots of gluing. Glad that I had already kind of gone through and decided what I could use for this. I'm not saying that anything was etched in stone. I always have the right to change my mind. You can do whatever you want to do if you decide to make this. Nobody's judging, but it is nice to go ahead and have a plan, a little bit of a plan before I get started, because this can take a while. And it's painful for me. I can imagine it's painful for other people to watch me try to decide what to choose for some of the elements in these things. So, all right. So I liked it. Wanted nature things to kind of show. I feel like I know this hymn. I can't think of the melody, and I don't read music very well. I mean, if I'm standing there really studying it, I can kind of tell what goes up and down, how to, how many beats and pauses and things like that, but I don't know really how to do it, how to sing this one for sure. Get in there, get in there. Okay. All right, so we're going to leave rocks and trees of skies where we can see it. Just cover that right there. Get some sticky off of me. Selector. You can write down who you are, the location. This one's already got a number. It's specimen number 2349, in good order and condition. And then what do you like? Do you put the name, of what you found? Do you put the genus and the species? As a matter of fact, I was looking through my pages of words that I like to print out and tea stain and all that stuff, and I found a few uh, good words that I can use in this booklet, in this journal. And there, yeah, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Oh yeah, botanist journal. I was thinking I would use that. So, and then there's field notes. I think I have a lot of good things here that I can use once we get into it and start decorating it. Put those off. Okay, so I'm liking that one. So that's that one. All right, let's look at this little guy. So, actually, I have this. 1915. Oh, 1901. Yeah. Maltby Babcock, 1901. And then the music was adapted by Franklin L. Shepard in 1915. Anyway, I digress. I don't know that it's that interesting though. But I could use another piece of, I already got this um, adding machine tape, and then a piece of notebook paper, music. Yeah, let's do another piece of music. I like that idea. And maybe just right out of here, music. Yeah, let's do that. A little lopsided looking, but I'll fix that. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to fix that. I'm going to put it on there with its angle and all. I think that'll be interesting. Maybe. Or it'll look like I'm screwy. Hmm. Hmm. And I don't think I'm going to use this little bitty tag on this one, but I'll bet you I use it on this one because this one's screaming to have something because of the way that stem is. It's screaming to have something else on there, so I don't think this one's going to get a tag. But yeah, I think I'm in good shape this way. I'm going to put that kind of centered. It may end up being, I don't know. Let's see, because it's all very white right now, so I'm going to ink it and see how it kind of comes out looking. Maybe I'm going to give it a little bit white, so I'm going to give it a little staining right here and now. Yeah. Sort of hit it with some darkness there. All right, so we're going to get that one going. I'm not even going to bother using my inky magazine. I'm just going to use my inky finger. It's just a small format. Yeah. A lot there. Okay. Yeah, it's nice and inky. I mean, sticky, gluey. Clearly, I think that ink and glue are in the same family, just because it's messy. Like that. Yeah, that way. Not quite so stark. There's nothing wrong with white, but in this application, it's better if it's not so white. Some of these edges on these things are so white. It's really need a good darkening up. So, I don't mind it being like that. I think that's the way I'm going to go. That back on there. I haven't been putting my pen back in, but I've been picking this up pretty regularly and using it. So I think I'm okay, and it's not going to dry out in that amount of time. You never know. A little bit of ink from my fingers back here in the back. Okay. Okie dokie. Right here. Right there. I want that guy. Okay, he looks good. I may go look for a little tiny something. I'll probably have a little tiny tab tag that could go there. All right, so then this strip is really not bad. Yeah, let's just use that. Had that laying there. And let's just do the ends again, the top and the bottom. There's ends on 4 sides. Which end are you talking about, lady? Yeah. Yeah, a little more. I like how we did the register tape. Adding machine tape. I don't know. I actually still use it in my work. go off to this side. I feel like I keep sort of leaning, not really, in my mind. Uh, now, there, here. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'll do that. Let me just go ahead and finish inking these. Yeah, this is cute. So I think, and I'll probably give this as a gift, that it would be a fun thing for somebody to, use for like their garden journal. I don't know that many people actually. My aunt is a horticulturist and a master gardener, and she might actually appreciate this as an actual botanist journal. But everybody else might just appreciate it as a journal to, write down their. I keep a garden journal, but to write down their plantings and stuff for a year, and because I love to make notes. Well, I actually have to make notes because from year to year I can't remember everything that I grew, everything that I did to those things. We do a lot of seed starting. Um, and it's really important to keep notes because, you just need to remember what worked, what didn't. Going over here. So, it's a good idea. And, just nice to write some things down sometimes. Like I keep the seed packets and I keep, I do little drawings in my journal because I need to a lot of times map out like if when I'm planting in a particular bed, like one of our raised beds or something, I kind of need to remember what I put where, at least at first until stuff starts coming up. Then I can kind of remember. Plus, I mark everything. I mean, I put plant tags out there so I can remember what's there. Matter of fact, it would be cool to do a journal of all, just using all the like old seed packets. One of the places that I get seeds from, it's called Botanical Interest, and some of you may know about that. They have the most beautiful seed packets. They're just, the art on them is just beautiful. They have a lot of different artists who render these drawings for them, and they're just gorgeous. And I think, beyond the scope of using them for the seed packets, they need to be kept and loved as ephemera, which is my whole issue, is keeping all of the ephemera. That's why I started this channel, because I have so much stuff. I have a lot of old things, like really old things. I have a postcard collection, just a lot of different things. So rather than throw them all in a box and forget about them, I decided to dig them out. The only problem is I've gone down this rabbit hole and now I'm buying things instead of using the old things that I have. I do use them too. I do incorporate them. As a matter of fact, that hymnal is older. Okay, I like that. So I've got these 5. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Let's get our guy back here. Wait. Let's put the pin in the glue. Okay. Tidy up just a second. Get some things out of the way. I'm not going to get rid of all this stuff though. Once I start with some elements in one thing, I keep everything handy because, you know, I may go back and embellish, and it's nice when it all kind of, I don't want it to be matchy-matchy, but it's nice when it does match. Like here. So here's this Botanist journal tag that I have, and it sort of blends in there. That edge is torn, but this edge is not. Excuse me. I'm thinking I need to put something else right there to kind of pop it out. If I use it there, am I going to use it there? I could use it there. Could cover up that cool thing, but I don't want to. Oh, you can't see. I moved it down. Yeah, kind of like that, but I feel like it needs something dark. You know what? I could use a tea bag because tea isn't just for drinking and staining, but it's also for using the tea bags. Oh yeah, that'll be pretty. Like that. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna put that up there, and I'm gonna tear off a hunk. This is my little tea bag stash here. Got several bags in various forms. And I'm just gonna tear off some of this edge. It must have been at the top where it's sticky. At the top where the string was attached. Yeah, when I get done with a bag, I usually hang on to it and dry it out. In fact, I've got one right here right now. Is it dry yet? No, not yet. But it's drying out. I just keep it in a little glass jar and let it finish. Okay, that's pretty cool. And you know what? If I crinkled it up, that would be interesting looking. Yeah, kind of like that. I'm gonna get this guy inked. So notice I was about to show you how the tags were going to look in the journal, but I got waylaid and sidetracked here, and now we're putting the front cover stuff together. I'm just gonna run this through. Oh, it's get really sticky because this is so transparent. That's okay. All right, so we're just gonna lay this sort of on here like this. Icky, icky. And I'm okay with it sticking up like that a bit here and there, not too much. Adding it down. And then we're just gonna put that right there. And now we know what it is. It's a botanist journal. And whatever that means to the person who ends up with it, you go with it. Or rip that off of there or cover it up. You don't like that it says that. But I can't imagine that somebody would do that. Because why not? Let's see. Am I crooked? Am I crooked? No. Not that I can tell. I might be the wrong person to ask. Okay, so back to the task at hand. Still don't know what I'm doing with this flap, but I do know that these are going to be the tags that are going to go in here ever so sweetly, like as if I've been out. I don't know why I didn't put these in first. As if I've been out in the wild gathering and foraging specimens for my Botanist journal. And for some reason that needed a British accent. So all I really need to do to these at this point, and they're not going to be, there's nothing fancy going on here because remember this is out in the wild. Okay, so this needs to go somewhere, and I have a feeling it's going to go right here because remember these are my collection of specimens. So again, I'm moving away from finishing those tags and I'm working on the embellishments. And this is turning into kind of a long video, so once I get done with these tags, I'm gonna let you free if you've hung in there with me. And then I'll come back another day, probably tomorrow, I'll work on it. And I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna put in this flap. And I'm gonna add some papers, put a signature in the middle so that it really is a journal. Okay, so this will be easy. This part is just a matter of making them look more like a tag. I have the scissors and I'm not worried about cutting off some of the tag element because that's just what happens. That looks good there. I'm just flipping that over so I get somewhere near the same corner cut on that. This one, I'm going to do it sort of a smaller, wider. Did you say wider cut? I don't know. I hope my microphone's still working. Because if it's not, then I'm hosed. You know what? I'm gonna give this one rounding all the way around. Like just a tag. Like that. Oh, let's do one more rounded. Let's do it really big. Use the big Use the big rounder, corner rounder. Do that to that guy. And then on this one, always little bits everywhere when I do that. Let's make him kind of a big cut on either side. I like it. I like it. I'm making my own shadow here. The lighting is the only bad thing about doing this on a day like today is the lighting is just sort of, I can see a lot of glare. Lighting is kind of bad I usually have a lot of good natural light. There's a window right here, right there in front of me. And it's so dark out, even though it's, mid-morning, that it just makes it a little bit hard. But anyway, so I've got these. I'm going to come in and poke some holes. And I think I'm not going to put any kind of string or ribbon on them yet. I'm going to wait and see what I think I need based on what I use when I create That could have been more centered when I create my signature and put it in the book. Well, okay, this one will be interesting. Yeah, I got into the flower a little bit there. Oopsie. Oopsie. And then I'm gonna put some of these hole reinforcers. Yeah, that one would have been better underneath there. Let's see. Maybe that one's not going to get a hole reinforcer. This one's okay. And that guy rolled him up. I could have used him again. Look, this makes a great, like if you want to rabbit trailing, if you need to like create sort of some interest, have enough ink. But if you take your marker, just sort of do this, then you've got, you know, something that's kind of interesting. I've got a few pages like that I sat around and just mindlessly inked in that way. So just thought I'd share. But anyway, here we go. There's that. I've already got one of those. I don't need to hang on to another one. Grabbing another sheet of reinforcers out of my stash. There we go. Let's put one on the back. You know, we could add like a piece of paper here for writing notes on too, if you really want to get into it, because we're talking about these specimens here. Wait, I almost hit those in the right spot. Okay. That one and that one. And this one. And this one. Remember, I'm not doing this one yet. I'm going to, well, let's see about it. Maybe I'll put a grommet in there. Anyway, yeah, so they've all got one. Here we are. And they turned out pretty cute. Not gonna lie, I like it. I hope you guys do too. So we've got this and this guy, this. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason as to how they need to go in here. But those are my collection of specimens. I like that. All right, so I'm going to end this here because this has been going on a long time. But I'm not done with it, so I will come back and do a part 2 so we can see how this actually ends up. Who knows? There might end up being a tuck pocket. I hate covering up these beautiful images. I don't want to cover them up too much because they're just so pretty. Anyway, I'm going to put a link in my description to Polka Art Studio where I got this set from, and I think she does a wonderful job on all her sets. She's got tons of them. If you need anything for any kind of an event, any kind of holiday, she's just got a lot of good stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for part 2 of the Botanist's Journal journey, and I will see you then.